It could be my own schoolmate. It could be the environment that I live. There are little things we can do to help. We have so many medical doctors. We have so many nurses and doctors that are black, that are Africans. We can't take 1 month holiday and say, I want to go to Nigeria. I want to go to Tanzania. Let me just go and work. Let's make a team together. Let's help one community. Let's take time to build Africa together. We know we have bad leaders there. We know the people that are there are not so good. But how can we change the narrative? How can we change the situation? Because most of our children are believing that this is their home, that this is where they belong. I see always when Americans and Caribbeans, they all go back to Africa and say, this is where I belong. They've never been to Africa before. They didn't grow up there. They have no family. They only know that I have a root somewhere in Africa. And you were born and raised in Africa. And coming to Europe and you said this is where you belong and this is where you want to make a home. You can be comfortable. Make it comfortable for you. But do not forget, your home is your home. People are here, they've lived 50 to 60 years abroad. They don't even want to go back home. They don't even want to think about going home. Do you know that if you go home and you mingle with your people, there is a peace that you have inside of you? There is no security there. There is kidnapping. There is a lot of things. But we have many Nigerians who are police officers. We have many Nigerians who are soldiers abroad. We have good professions, people who have been qualified for so many things, who can decide to start building a network of people. Now, just imagine the Ukraine war between Russia and Ukraine. Do you see how the Europeans are fighting for their own? Do you see how people take off their clothes and say, I want to go and defend Ukraine? They are not from the same country. They are not from the same place. But they want to build their unity. They want to stand their ground. When Africa is fighting, we've been fighting Boko Haram for ages. No African countries could come together to say, let's defeat this war. Mali is fighting their own. Somalia is fighting their own. Rwanda, every part of Africa, Sudan, they are all fighting. We couldn't stand for each other to fight. Our government, individually, we could not stand to look for a way to make peace. Because as long as we have those continents fighting each other, we cannot do nothing. We cannot build our country. We cannot build that continent. If the eyes is crying, the nose is also crying. What affects the eyes affects the nose. Be very careful of the things we say. If this war of Ukraine will escalate to more than the way it is now, and they have to save, they say the war has escalated to other parts of Europe, and we needed safety. Just like the way it happens in Ukraine, that every African was stranded in the streets. They will not realize if you have a European passport anymore. Let's be realistic to ourselves. Let's be truthful to ourselves. You having a red passport does not guarantee you that you will be among the people that they will allow to go in first if you get there first to safety. Because you are black. Why can't we start thinking of what to do to our continent? Many of us are very intelligent. We are in this diaspora. We are in Europe. We are in America, in Canada. Every part of the world, up to India, we have Africans. We need to start thinking of building a technology that we can control things. A technology that will be able to allow us to see when things are moving out of our country, how our leaders are stealing our money. The communication they make in their phones. There are so many things I know that Africans are qualified to do. Africans are so intelligent. They are so blessed. Everything a continent needs to survive, Africa have it. What Europe depend on today, 95% of those things that make Europe what they are is coming from Africa. So what are we talking about? We are so blessed. A continent that is as blessed as Africa does not, there is none. There is none in the surface of this earth. We are too blessed to allow us to be a third world country. We have intellectuals, we have PhD holders, we have professors, we have people with different kind of talents whiling away. Let's start using them. Let's start using this thing to build our continent. We have internet right in front of us, whereby a Nigerian person to a Ghanaian person to South African person or whatever part of Africa you come from, you can build a connection together on what to do to make Africa great. Africans are dying right now as we are talking now. The land is drying up because of climate change. We are here, we enjoy water, we have shower as many times as we want. But our brothers and sisters are dying from bad water, from not having food to eat, not having good medical. And we are here, comfortable. Why can't we start having an organization whereby we can build, say, we from the UK, we from the Western Europe, Northern Europe, whatever you call you, where you are coming from. Let's have this community of Africans that will say, let's build a standard hospital, a standard schools, a clinic in many villages, because we are helping individuals, which is very good. We can give 1 million to one person to set up a business, but the future of the children of that person still is not safe. But if we start building a nation, we start building communities, then our continent is going to stand on its own. Because if we are able to build a good hospital, a standard hospital, that our doctors from the diaspora will work, we don't want to put those doctors in Nigeria. We will employ some of them, but we will put it in the hands of people who really know what it means to take care of life. We employ people that will really know what to do when it's time to do them, who value life. We will not build hospital and allow other people to come and take all the equipment on it and go and open a private hospital. You see how our government, they are able to afford 100 million naira for a car to become a Nigerian president. The money they can use to build hospitals in the villages, in the rural area, that they can give us light, they can give us water. They don't care. But do we have to live the same way they are living? Do we have to behave the same way they are behaving? No. Let's not start building our home. Let's start telling our children our history. We came here for a greener pasture. At least things have been rosy for us for now. Let's start thinking of building our home. Our home is our home, no matter how bad it is. No matter how bad it is. You cannot use another person's child to say is your child. You can adopt a child, it becomes your own. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, because this one is the best, probably this child is now the talk of town. You will not say, because my own is not doing good, it's no longer my own. You are not singing only praises of that person's child. This is not it. You have to build your own child. Every parents always want their children to be the best. Let us make our continent the best. We have so many things we can do. Do you know if you start a business, Africa is a place whereby you start a business with 100,000 and you are determined to make it in the next few months to become 500,000. You will make it. A continent whereby somebody is selling pure water. just pure water, he's able to pay his children's school fees, pay his rent, take care of his family. You are earning 1,500 euros. Are you able to take care of yourself without having debt, without having to struggle? Let's start thinking. There are so many things we can do. There are many resources that are laying down in the streets of Nigeria. There are many things that we can use to build our country. We need people who have ideas, that are living in the diaspora, to bring an idea. And let's put it out here. Let everybody start to see. What do you think we should do when it comes to the roads? How to make our roads great? What do you think we need to do concerning flooding in our area? What do you think we should do about having a standard school for our children? How do we get clean water from a dirty water? How do we make Nigeria, apart from not depending on our government, to make a solar power become a thing that will depend on to give us electricity? We have many students abroad here who knows how to build these things. We have many graduates in Nigeria who knows how to create, but they need people to sponsor them. They need supervision. They need people to back them up. We are here, we are making money. Money is supposed to be working for us. If we invest on things that we know our community really needs, things that is working for us here easily, and we make it to become common and every common man can afford it, is wealth. Is wealth. If every common household can have electricity, our problem is less solved. We will have less problem because many young people can be able to create things for themselves. They will be busy. They will be occupied by bringing out their talent. How can a young man learn how to build houses, to create things, and he has no light to work with? You go to the technical colleges, there is no light. And we have people who have idea how to create things. Let's support them. Many of us in the diaspora, we are just sleeping. We are busy fighting each other, always quarreling on the internet, fighting, making saga, insulting each other and looking down on Africa. Africa is no good. We keep sharing the bad side of Africa. Many European countries where they are today, the money they used to build Europe is coming from Africa. Even till tomorrow. France, the money France is spending is still coming from Africa. The Great Britain, the money the Great Britain is using that they have stolen from Africa is a lot in their reserve. And we are so grateful that we are collecting peanuts. And we are saying it's just okay. We are princess and princes. Yet we keep ourselves too low to become a servant, to become a slave. A place whereby you are walking in the street and everybody is looking at you because you are black. You want to walk into an office, you are thinking, who am I going to meet in this office? I pray the person will not be a racist. If he doesn't want to give me the job, it's fine. We have it also in Nigeria. I can walk into offices and the man will say, I don't want to give you the job because you refuse to sleep with me or you refuse to do this. It's different. But do not call me names. Do not make me feel as if I want nothing. I am an African and I am so proud to be an African. You cannot talk me out of my color. I am a great person. There is little or less that I can do, but the little things that I can do, I will do my best. But I'm only saying this because I want us to start thinking of what we really want to do. It is not about you always, every now and then. You have millions that you can carry around, you can spend around. No. If you have money and you can do something that will benefit a community, that will benefit the Nigerian youth. Nigerian youths are too idle. That is the reason why they have the time of going into a lot of criminal things, a lot of fraudsters and all the things they do. If you have light, you have idea you start creating. You will be in school. You will see what is going on in the world. You will see how young men from every continent are creating new invention for their country. There is plastic everywhere in Nigeria. In other countries, they are using it for money. It's turning into money. Many of us, when we get to Africa, we carry security around, we do all those things. What about if we have a good street whereby we can put cameras like it is in abroad? Many of us here, some of them are working in such companies that make cameras, street cameras. There are many of us here who knows about security very well. You can decide to secure just your own street. If you are able to secure your street, maybe build a security around your street, other people will ask, how did you do it? Before you know, people start to patronize you. If we are able to make solar power to become as cheap as any other thing in the streets of Nigeria, do you think those people that are producing, stealing fuel, making things difficult for Nigeria, or those NEPA that decide not to give you light because they don't have gas to supply, they do not have this, but we have sun. African, we have sun throughout the year that we do not have to pay for. If everybody will have this in their houses, or probably we gather money and do it in one street. Let's start doing it from street to street. Everybody might not get it at once. Let's change our narrative. Africa is too blessed. We are too blessed to be called a third world country. We are too blessed to be looked down on. God has so blessed us that we are on top. Let's start doing things right. Let's follow the right channel. We know many things have gone wrong out there. I know how it is. It is so sad that you have nobody you can't even trust any of them. Not even your own brothers and sisters. If you tell somebody, please help me do this, probably the thing costs you 10,000. They will tell you it's 20,000 or 100,000. We know this. But would that stop us? Do we say because things are the way it is, we will throw the baby with the bathwater? No. Please, my fellow Africans, my brothers and sisters around the world, be you a Black American or a Caribbean, as long as you have a dark skin, start thinking of coming back home. Start thinking of what to do to make Africa great. Because if this war in Ukraine will escalate, where do you think you will be? Where do you think it will be the first thing you are thinking of, as we are saying now? I want to go home. That will be your first thought. Let me go to Africa. Let me go to my family. That will be the first thing. But majority of you, your children have never gone to Africa before. So how do you think they are going to make their home? Just like the Ukrainians who have never stepped out of their country before. Now they are scattered everywhere, trying to make a new home. Please, Africans, my fellow brothers and sisters, let's change our narrative. It is time we build Africa. Let's make Africa great again. We are young. We have still time to start working together. I know God will give us the grace. Let God begin to give us leaders that are sincere, leaders that are really having the heart to work, not to embezzle our money, not to bring our money to European banks, not to bring their children abroad to go to school, while the common man children are in strike and lavishing in poverty in streets of Nigeria. It is too sad. It is bad enough that schools have been closed. Private schools are now the places where they exploit children, where children become wayward and nuisance, and they get a lot of different characters and all that. Parents do not have a choice. They have to work to pay for private schools when we have government schools. When you come to Europe, you see black teachers teaching white children who are flying colors, who are creating, who are building nations, where our fellow brothers and sisters in Africa are lavishing in poverty. Let's sleep over it and think about it for once. This is not good enough. I can't put my head so high and feel that I'm on top when my brothers they cannot even sleep. Children are in the streets of Nigeria. They do not know the next meal to eat. Some of them do not even have parents anymore. Some of them, they are just living for everyday. Good evening, friends and families. Good evening to everyone. Wherever you are, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day. I hope this Sunday was a blessed Sunday for you. I hope every mother out there, I wish them happy Mother's Day. So today we are going to talk about being an African woman, or being an African as a person, or a dark-skinned person, that's so to say. I want us to think about this issue right now because many of us seem to ignore the reality of life. We might be living in the diaspora. We think maybe everything is fine. But for so many of us, yes, things are fine. But do we really think we belong here? I don't think we really do belong here. No matter how qualified we are, no matter how experienced we are, one way or the other, we do face this racism. We face it like every other thing. If I'm qualified for a job and 5 or 6 white people come before, that I'm better than, if I'm not careful, I might not get the job. Have you ever sit down and thought about that? Have you also thought about sometime somebody wronged you and you are trying to claim your right, and then because you're black and somebody tried to talk you off? So the reason why I'm going to this aspect today, as on this Mother's Day, is especially because of children. Many of our children are going to school. They have to put on their very best. They have to go extra mile to be able to meet up their opponent in everything that they do. Things that a white person, a light-skinned person gets easily, for an African person, you have to fight to get it. You have to pray, you have to fast. You have to, it has to be grace for you to get it. Especially if you are living in a country whereby they do not speak English, a country whereby you were not born, they will say you have an accent. Even in Nigeria, it happens. Nigerians, Africans, we want to copy everything about the white people. We want to be white overnight. We want to be what we are not. We can never be white. We just have to learn to love ourselves. We just have to learn to be an African. Learn your culture, to love yourself, love your community. Some people shy away from African community because they don't want to belong. Yeah, these people, I don't just want them. I just want to be on my own. You cannot be on your own. When you go to the community of the Indians, you see that they are team. They are together. Whether they are black, they are white, most of the time you see them, any country they go, they build that team. They stand by each other. You see the Turkish people. When one open a business, it show the other ones the way to go. They do all things together. They are always working in team. They are showing other people way how to go. But Africans, we are never good at that. We are very good in backstabbing each other. We are very good in destroying each other. But we forget that even if we do that, it will not make the white to love you more. If you can stab your own blood sister, your own African brother or sister, then what do they expect from you? But many people seem not to realize that. They don't understand that. That is the way you lay your bed. That is how you lie on it. We might be in Europe one day. We might need each other's help. Even if I have to buy a mansion, I'm living in a penthouse abroad, there is going to be a day that I will need that common man in the streets. Help from that person. Why can't we build each other up? Why are we fond of separating ourselves from our community? I don't want to be in African community. I will be going to white people church because there they will not gossip me. I want to go to white people party. That's where I'll feel more. You cannot belong. You cannot belong. No matter how many years you stay, you cannot belong. You are black, you are black. Your husband, you might marry a white man. Your husband might love you. Your husband, brothers and sisters might love you. But the community might not love you. Even black to black do not even love each other. The only thing is that we cannot, our racist is not that because you are black, get away, this one is black. No, we can be racist. This one is a Nigerian, this one is Ghana, this is Sierra Leone. That is still different. The racist of you saying is a nigger or is a black person, is an African, she's not qualified, she's not needed. A place whereby your children will go to school because they are darker than the other skin. They get bullied. Whereby they're in school, they want to compete for some certain things and they said, your kind of color is not needed. Or probably your child is in school, is doing well, probably not 100% the best, but they would rather choose somebody behind him to be the leader just because he or she is black. Have we ever think of building Africa together? A place we can call a home? I am black. Whenever I step myself into the plane, I landed in Nigeria. I do not see myself being different from every other person. Every person I see around me is black. Sometimes probably I see few white people, but they are not important to me because I believe I'm home. It doesn't matter how long you live here. If I am seeking for a school or a position, I'm a European citizen, fine. But if another European citizen who is white is also seeking for the same position, do you think they'll give it to me? It is very difficult. I have to fight harder than normal. I have to really fight harder. But if I am in Africa, I can decide to build my own business. In Africa, we know you need connection. But here, even if you know the governor of the state where you are living, and he's a white man, you know him personally, you know him, you relate with the person, still he will not give you that job. Do you know why? Because there's still another person on that office that will say, we already got somebody else. Somebody was telling me a story, what happened to her recently. How she got a job, she was supposed to start in 3 days' time. Then just for them to call her, we are sorry. The person who took the position, the person who signed your contract did not realize that we already given the job out to somebody else. We always have to take the main jobs. Even if you think you are a medical doctor, you are a nurse, you are a banker or whatever. But the pressure that you work with, not to make mistake, not to fall a victim whereby you will be used as a slave goat is always very high. In Nigeria, for example, you work in a bank, there are some certain things you make little mistake, they tell you to correct it, you do one or two things. But here, they want you just to make that mistake so that you'll be fired. That is if you even have the opportunity to get such a good job. Our children really have to fight more. But most of us, we are qualified here. We have what it takes to build Africa. But we all are saying bad leaders, bad leaders, bad leaders. What will it be if I will do my best, the little that I can, to build my own community? Doesn't matter. It could be my own street. It could be my own environment. It could be my own. So, it is good for us to start thinking of this whole issue seriously. Let's continue to make our children understand that we have a home, a place we can call home. Let's build Africa together. Let's make Africa great again. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord help us to achieve our goals. And please, I want you to like, share, subscribe. God bless you. Have a blessed day.